Tech that is done to perfection is rare. This one is well done. Welcome back to another Techstination interview. With us is Tim Robinson, VP of Marketing at ThermoWorks. Thanks for taking the time, Tim.
It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Well, before we poke into what's new, I think I'm done with puns now. Give us a little background.
That was pretty good.
Give us a little background about ThermoWorks, a brand well known to people who are serious about cooking.
Yeah, ThermoWorks is a really fun company to work for. It started as our CEO and founder, Randy Owen, was president of operations for Hart Scientific, which was a very specialized thermometer and thermodynamics company. They still are around. They're now a subsidiary of Fluke, which is a big multinational. And they still specialize in these supercomputers. We have one down in our calibration lab here at ThermoWorks, the 1595A. They're accurate to 0.0000005 degrees Celsius, right? They cost almost $100,000, and they're used by calibration labs to make sure that the variance and error and very highly accurate and expensive probes, right, can be tested and verified. So he had this incredibly intense professional industrial background. And then right in the mid 90s, he started his own thermometer company. And before long, along came the Thermapen, which was this kind of revelation to the industry because it combined two things that were normally separate: the meter, the probe, that each had their own tolerances and their own error, into one fully integrated unit, right, with a fold-out probe. So you had just one accuracy spec, and then that's just been refined over the years and kind of taken over not just food safety. We are a professional thermometer company, and we service everything from aerospace to pharmacological labs to restaurants and other food safety operations around the country. But now it's becoming enormously popular just with backyard barbecue warriors and moms in the kitchen, and because people want professional results at home, and so they can reach for a professional instrument and do just as well as the chef.
Great stuff that you've had. And now you're out with the world's first 1-second instant read smart thermometer. This is called the Thermapen ONE. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I happen to have one right here. Here's the Thermapen ONE. Sorry, the lighting is not as great as I wished, but the Thermapen ONE really is a marvel of engineering. It's 1 second or less. Really all of them are sub-second in terms of their performance. We're very conservative in our specs. When you find a company that's deals a lot with traditional industrial customers, you find that they tend to be more conservative with their specs than some of the more marketing-driven organizations that trying to exaggerate their specs. But sub-second performance is truly a marvel when you understand everything that's involved. But yes, and we can get into that, but the basics are: you have an instrument here that you open up, it turns on, right? There are no buttons. That's critically important to chefs and others in food safety because buttons are food traps where bacteria can collect and grow, right? So you have this ergonomically clean, wind tunnel ready device that you just open it up. It turns on and it immediately starts measuring the temperature. You can see the temperature in the room I'm in right now. If I grab the end of the probe with my fingers, you can start to see that temperature go up with my body heat. But the real innovation here is a sub-second response time. And that is so important to making critical spur of the moment, speed of the moment decisions in the kitchen or on the grill. Most people don't wait for an accurate temperature. Most people are using a thermometer that takes 10 to 12 seconds or even 5 to 6 seconds to get an accurate reading, but they move on too fast because that seems like ages when you're measuring, food to sit there for that long, especially when you're over a hot grill, right? Even 1 second over a burning hot grill at 350, 450, 500, 600, 700 degrees. Of course, fire is at 1200 degrees. So when you have your hand over that heat, getting an instant reading and moving on to the next burger or thigh, it just feels like a dream, Fred. I used this over the weekend, and it's like a whole different level of experience.
I understand this even has a motion sensor built in, Tim.
Yeah, that's right. So for the last 2 models, we've had an accelerometer in here, just like you have in your cell phone. So that becomes really helpful, both in terms of shifting the orientation of the display. So you can see that, you can take temperatures from any degree, any angle, I should say, and it will reorient the display. That's the accelerometer at work. Another thing that it does is if you set it down, it will turn off because it stops sensing motion. And so it will save battery life for you. But then the moment you pick it up, it's back on and ready to go because it can sense that you're moving it around and actually going to be measuring temperatures. So that is one of the pieces of technology that we've built into this. It really anticipates your needs. It's got a built-in backlight. As soon as it gets dark, you can see it's a little darker in here, so the backlight's coming on. And it turns off when you're not using it, comes on when you are. Everything you could expect in a thermometer.
As you mentioned, it's battery powered, and the battery life is pretty incredible, I understand.
Yeah. I mean, you should. It's a little less than it was on the Mark IV. We went. It's about 1,000 hours, but that's still plenty of time. It's going to last. With typical use, it'll last years before you actually need to change the battery. And changing the battery is easier than ever before with the little battery compartment now on the back. There's just one regular Phillips head screw that you need to release, and you can get in there, change your settings, change the battery. But I'm anxious to talk, if you have just a minute, about some of the thermodynamics involved, some of the engineering involved in getting sub-second performance. Can I say just a word more about that?
Absolutely. And I want you to tell me about the accuracy here too, because I guess that is really your claim to fame there.
Yes. So the marvel of engineering, when I say it's a marvel of engineering, the thing that we lose our minds over, and maybe the common layperson wouldn't get quite as excited about it, but we just get super excited about the idea that in this instrument, we've not only increased the speed, but simultaneously increased the accuracy and the robustness of the device. And the reason that's so exciting to engineers is because those things are things that normally play against each other. Right? Normally, when you increase the accuracy of a device, you make it less robust. We sell these incredibly accurate probes, but they're wire probes, right? And they're incredibly fragile. And if you were to use them in your kitchen, they have sub-second performance, but if you were to use them in your kitchen a couple of times, they would break. Also, in terms of speed and accuracy, normally when you increase the speed of a device, you're actually decreasing its accuracy. So to be able to have improvements in all of those areas, it's now faster sub-second performance, it's more accurate, plus or minus 0.5 degrees in terms of its accuracy, and then also more robust. We've actually increased the warranty on this device up to 5 years. So you get a full 5-year warranty. And we're talking not just for moms and dads, we're talking for professional kitchens. And believe me, these devices get some abuse in a professional kitchen. Think of all that's going on in a professional kitchen, and yet we warranty this for 5 years by industrial users and chefs. That's pretty exciting. And the speed, one thing people don't fully comprehend, it actually takes 5 readings in less than a second. If you were to Google the response time and time constants, those 2 key phrases, you would find these essays written by thermodynamic engineers. And what you see is a graph. And the graph, it's one of those classic kind of long tail graphs where it starts at the bottom and it goes up to near the top and levels off. And there are 5 readings that reduce the uncertainty of a thermocouple device to 99%, right? So, or I should say, raise the certainty to 99%, reduce the uncertainty to that level. And so in order to get that reading to be that level of accuracy, it actually is checking on itself 5 times. And each time it takes a reading, that certainty level goes up until it's almost certain that that is the temperature. So to achieve, here at the sensor tip, right, that's where the sensor is, the thermocouple, the weld, right here. To achieve that going into a food or a liquid and being acclimated to the temperature there, and then between the circuit board and the tip, 5 checks, each with a time constant of 0.2 seconds or less, to verify that the reading is accurate in less than a second. Kind of mind-blowing, right? So especially with a device that's this durable, right? That we can say this is going to last 5 years. So pretty fun stuff for here at ThermoWorks to be able to release this. It's been over 5 years in the making. We've been talking about this for a long time. So to have it actually be released to the public is pretty exciting for us.
So lots of tech in there, but one of your goals was to keep this as affordable as you could. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So the truth is, you're going to spend a little more on this device than you would going to Walmart and picking up a thermometer, right? If you go to Walmart and you pick up a digital thermometer there, you may spend $15 and you're going to get something with an accuracy of plus or minus 3 or 4 degrees. And that has a response time of probably, like I say, 15 seconds. And so vastly different, right? So you are going to spend a little more for this. This retails for $105. That's more than most people, regular people, are used to spending on a thermometer. In the world of industrial thermometers, where you used to have to buy a meter and a probe separately, and you can see some of these on our website. We still sell these devices to professionals. The meter typically retails for about $150 to $200, and then the probe is an additional $65 or so. So $105 for an integrated unit that has that level of accuracy and speed is actually a huge cost savings for our professional customers. But it's actually a cost savings for regular foodies as well when you think about the durability, right? That Walmart thermometer that you buy is going to break. It's going to break in less than 6 months. You're going to buy 5, 10 of those thermometers during the 5 to 10 years that you own this device. And so it's in the barbecue circles, we're big in the barbecue world, right? All the top barbecue professionals use our thermometers, and they have a phrase. They say, "Buy once, cry once," right? That's their little phrase that they use, meaning that, yeah, it's more than you typically would spend on a thermometer if you're kind of making that first upgrade. But you cry only once, because then you're saving money for 10 years, and that whole time you're getting sub-second plus or minus 0.5 degree accuracy. So you actually don't cry very much over the rest of that period of time.
So for more info, Tim, where should folks go?
They can go to thermoworks.com, ThermoWorks.com. They'll see big splashy banners about the Thermapen ONE there, and they can click there. Or of course, they can search Google for Thermapen ONE. We've capitalized ONE. We call it the One because, of course, its response time is 1 second or less, and we really wanted to call attention to that fact. So if they just search for Thermapen ONE, that way they can read independent reviews. There are a bunch of independent reviews that have come out, and we're happy to have everybody see what the latest is in terms of independent reviewers. It's all good so far. So,
and you've got this in a bunch of colors.
We do, yeah. And people think that's just for fun, but there's actually an industrial food safety application for that as well. We have 10 colors. You can pick, pink, blue, green, purple, orange, black, all these different colors. In a professional setting, that's important for a couple of reasons. One is they sometimes will designate a thermometer as a cross-contamination issue. They would designate the red thermometer for beef, right? The yellow thermometer for chicken. So they'll sometimes the blue thermometer for seafood. They'll sometimes have different devices allocated to certain types of foods because you wouldn't want to cross-contaminate, seafood with beef or beef with chicken. Or they'll sometimes assign a color to an individual chef or staff member. So if I work in a team of chefs in a restaurant, maybe my color is purple. And so I have a purple Thermapen, I have a purple chef alarm, leave-in probe thermometer, I have a purple timer. So all of my equipment is one color. Those are the professional reasons for having multiple colors, but it actually just makes it really, really fun because you can pick your favorite color and kind of personalize the Thermapen to your own desire.
Well, we have to say, well done. The website, once again, is ThermoWorks.com. Tim, thank you so much for taking the time with us.
Hey, it's been a real pleasure, Fred, and thanks for everybody for listening.
Now this. It takes a lot of listening to build a better radio, and that's just what the folks at Sea Crane have done. Bob Crane and his crew, nestled among the rivers and tallest trees in the world in Fortuna, California, have made a habit of listening to their customers. And that's just what they've done in building the CC Skywave SSB, the Swiss Army knife of portable radios. For everyday listening to AM or FM in the yard or patio or on the nightstand, without having to drain a mobile phone battery, it's a great companion. But it is also a companion equipped for NOAA weather information and alerts that can be life-saving. You can listen to FEMA and Coast Guard transmissions too. Beyond all of that, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world. It's compact, easy to take with you, and built to last. The CC Skywave SSB. Click on the link at Techstination.com.